Listen, any American with a serious medical condition, buy a ticket, fly to China, get the medical care, go back. Don't ask me why. American people know why. And I'm sure, for many of you guys, the most expensive part in the whole process is the tickets. So, if you are struggling, why not give it a try?
大家好
Popular American sayings.
In 中文
我的男朋友 means my boyfriend.
我的女朋友
means my girlfriend.
Glad to have you, amazing viewer. I'm back again with another episode of Rednote, connection between China and America. So they are still waking up, and as you can see, these beautiful girls are learning the language. So why not? We need a Chinese intro at this point, because the reason why we had to learn English was because we knew that America was great and it was going to open us to the world. And then we realized that the world is China at this point. So why should we not learn the language? So this video contains more culture shock that Americans are discovering, because every day is a discovery. Like, yeah, it's a discovery every day on Rednote. So these are TikTok videos. I will be bringing Rednote videos once TikTok is gone, because so many creators are yet to believe that they can join Rednote. But it is the first downloaded app. I already have my account, so let's just give them a free advert, because these guys are so humble. Like, they're humble.
Wait a minute. In communist China, you only pay property tax one time and you own your home for a lifetime? Wait a minute. In China, you only pay tax one time on your vehicle and you don't have to replate it every year? Wait a minute. If you make under a certain amount of money, you don't pay income tax? They take your share from the very rich elite? Wait a minute now. For 20 US dollars, you can buy a week's worth of groceries? Hold up. Hold up now. Wait a damn minute. You mean all parks and zoos and museums are free because they are public property? Wait a damn minute here. The US government has stepped in shit. We don't only smell it, we see it, and they now know that we know it.
You know what's crazy is that more than 50% of Americans are only one missed paycheck away from homelessness and have been for over 10 years. But in China, you can buy an apartment, and after you've paid it off, you don't continue paying a mortgage, you don't continue paying rent, you don't even continue paying annual tax. So even if you were to lose your job, lose all of your income, you could still live in your apartment until you die. For free, because you already bought it. America has been engineered to keep the threat of homelessness ever at the back of your head.
When you put your brain back together after you realize the people of China pay $10 for groceries, $200 for rent, and they don't have any homeless people, look at the cell phones they carry in their pocket in the cars that they drive.
Can someone please tell me why we are so behind here in the US? Like, bro, I just saw some videos of what China really looks like. Bro, we are 200, 300 years behind. Let me just show you this. Check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shanghai. Step into China's world of advanced transportation and stunning architecture. Join me as we explore Shanghai's vibrant cityscape under the evening lights.
What are we doing wrong? What? That looks like something straight out of like a video game. Like, what? Can someone please tell me why this is banned in the US? Bro, check this out. This is banned in the US that we don't know about. Like, bro, can you imagine if we had this phone? Like, It is literally like 3 phones in one. Bro, wait till I show you how far the camera zooms in. Why is this banned?
So let me get this straight. China unveils the fastest high-speed train, but America is building the tallest prison in the world. When rich people talk about how innovation is being stifled because of regulation, that's a complete lie. What's stifling innovation is projects like that. Building the tallest prison in the world. It's like America, it's like, when are y'all gonna just stop just using slave labor? It's been hundreds of years. When are y'all gonna get off the crack? What's stifling innovation is the government not investing in its own people. You want to get to Mars, Elon? Invest in the right people. Stop trying to extract every single morsel of anything out of any for cents on the dollar. And y'all are agreeing to be used. And this is for the scientists and everything like that. Like, why are you all agreeing to be used by these people? You're not even being paid correctly. The tallest prison in the world. That's what we on still. China got all these green cars, like EVs on the road. Let me tell y'all something. I went to China 20 some odd years ago. When I had been in Beijing, the air quality was so bad. So bad. And I'm reading the comments right now of a video that I'm watching, Secular Talk. I've mentioned him before, Kyle Kalinski's show. And the people are saying China has completely evolved. Is China perfect? No. But it just seems like America is still stuck on the crack of slavery and the propaganda wars. You won't do the better, build back better, which would invest in the infrastructure. Y'all so quick to try to deport undocumented people, and y'all refuse to stop meddling in these people's country. You blame them for coming over here. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody wants to move. That's what's stifling innovation. Until you guys get off the slave labor crack, I don't see innovation going anywhere. Y'all still gonna be stuck on Earth, and you will be lucky if it still exists, because that bitch is not playing with us. She's about to eliminate all of us if we don't get it together. The scientists already told us what's gonna happen if we don't blow ourselves up.
Chinese people. Apparently, us talking to the Chinese people is a threat to national security. You know what I think is a threat to national security? Our government. Our government seems to be the one reason we have problems all over the world. Our government seems to be a threat to our nation's security, because our government seems to be the one who's solving all the problems with everybody. I mean, you don't see the American people having a problem with the Chinese people, and you don't see the Chinese people having a problem with the American people. And I don't have a problem with the people in Iran. I don't have the problem with people in North Korea. I don't have a problem with people in Cuba. And I don't know any American citizens that do. Only the U.S. government does. And our U.S. government is united in the fact that they don't want us talking to the rest of the world. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it is that the U.S. government is banning Rednote, but China's not?
I'm at an interesting time because I traveled to China to build my company with my co-founder at a time where the US is banning TikTok and where Rednote is taking off. And it is surprising to me how many lies I've been told my whole life about China that simply aren't true. There's no social credit system. Politics is not really a part of people's lives. Everything is so high-tech. There are robots that deliver things to your doorstep. Everything runs through WeChat. I eat really healthy here. Everything I've eaten has been high-quality vegetables and some sort of protein source. The underground is exactly as packed as you could imagine. People are really friendly here, so there's no sense of individualism. There tends to be this sense of like common harmony. So, for example, everywhere you walk, nobody's going to get in your way and push you. They will just kind of make things liquid and smooth. There's so many delightful forms of tea, so chagi has been absolutely delicious. I also went to a city where you can see for blocks and blocks where the world's clothing is produced from. You can buy wholesale or retail high quality goods for a very inexpensive price. All the software and everything you use lacks the UI and the polish that you would see in North America or the rest of the world, but the functions are simple. And it just feels like it's such an efficient system. There's so many unique insights and learnings for me seeing how different countries utilize technology in their everyday lives.
I made a post on Rednote the other day asking like how much Chinese people spend on their groceries like weekly, and the general consensus was somewhere around 300 yuan, give or take. So translated into dollars, that is about 40-ish dollars per week for like food. And then so many people commented on that post saying that food wasn't even something that they had to budget for. That like their schools and their jobs, they take care of their meals throughout the day. Even their own food and even going out to eat, it's not something that they think about because they don't have to budget for it. I couldn't imagine having so much access to good food that is healthy for you and cheap, like provided by your school, provided by your boss. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but American school lunches are like notoriously horrific. And your job doesn't like provide you food like with the cafeteria unless you have like a really fancy schmancy high-end job in America. So the fact that like a majority of people in China work jobs that pay them enough to get good healthy food and provide them with good healthy food. Their kids are provided with good healthy food at school. And the fact that they don't even have to think about budgeting for buying their own groceries or going out to eat. So it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder.
Rent is cheap in China, but how much do they make? I did some research on TikTok, Rednote, and Google, and this is what I found. The average salary in China varies by city and industry, but in 2024, it was around 50,000 US dollars. Rent for a single room apartment, depending on the region, ranges from 50 to 500 US dollars. Furniture is included. Groceries are about 30 to 40 US dollars a week. Utilities are 30. And internet is $7. That's just a few of their monthly costs, but it really makes you think, what the f*** is going on in America?
I think we all seen what's going on Xiaohongshu, aka Rednote right now, right? And it's the first time that American people and Chinese people are communicating with each other with no barrier between them. And they found that a lot of things they heard about each other are completely wrong. I am an authentic Chinese and I live in Canada for over 14 years. I'm going to talk about the 3 biggest lies I often see online about China. Number 1, social credits. This is so fucking stupid. You guys don't actually believe that there is a hidden score for everybody born in China and the government is going to track you and mark you, and once your score go negative and you sentenced to death? What? I have never ever heard about this thing in my life. It's so funny to see so many Westerners actually believe in that. Just stop playing the jokes about, social credit plus 10. It's not funny. And speaking of social credit, I know America and Canada have social scores. If your social score is low, you cannot, get a mortgage, you cannot buy a car, you cannot get a rent. This is literally invented in the West. There's no such thing called social credit in China. No. Number 2, Xinjiang concentration camp. This is a blatant lie. There's no such thing called Xinjiang concentration camp. And we do not force labor them to pick cottons in the field. There's no such thing. And the fact is, it's actually opposite. The ethnic minority have way more advantage than me, which is ethnic majority, Han people in China. in Xinjiang province, if you go to the college entrance exam, they only need to get half of the scores to go to the top universities in China. And if you are asking Martin, you have bonus marks and plus half of the score line. What? And yet you guys are saying they are forced labored? Do you see how many machines working in the field in China? How advanced are the machines? Do you know Chinese are using drones for harvesting, for fertilizing, for everything in the field? Listen, if you've never been to China, if you ever get a chance to go to China, go to Xinjiang. It's so beautiful. Things are so nice. The people are so beautiful. The food is so good. I guarantee you, you won't regret. Number 3, China is not safe. If you're a foreigner, if you ever travel to China, you will get detained for no reasons. This is another blatant lie. Actually, China is the safest country in the whole world. Do you know that we don't really have the occupation called thieves? Because everything is going digital, that when I go back to China, I don't even carry my wallet. There's no use of cash. You only need your phone for everything. You go on the bus, you go on a subway, you go to the hotel, your ID is on your phone, it's okay. You don't need to bring anything. So if your phone is out of power, you can just rent a portable charger for 30 cents per hour. And if you are a thief in China, even if you steal a phone, what you can do with it? You cannot unlock it. So there's no such thing called thieves in China. It's just so safe. And people be like, oh, there are cameras everywhere. Do you know where has the highest camera density in the whole world? London. The cameras are only in the public spaces for security reasons. So if you're not a bad guy, if you don't break law, why are you afraid of cameras? And I know that in Canada, if your car got stolen or car got break into, you report that to RCMP. They will just tell you that there's nothing we can do about it. Even if there's a camera and shoot everything, and they still tell you there's nothing we can do about it. And it's so safe that, you can go out at midnight at 1 a.m. And the only danger is that just so many street food that are so cheap, you can just easily get fat. That's it. Sometimes I just feel like the US government are really lacking of imagination. They always blame China for things they actually did. Like the slavery and the forced labor thing, ring the bell in America. And yeah, it just happened in America, not China. And that the Chinese government are spying on you and stolen your data. Why it sounds like Facebook. Snowden, do you guys remember him? As a Chinese, I really welcome all the Westerners to go to China and travel and see it yourself with your own eyes. It's not hard to get a visa. Just go. It's cheap. And people are so warm and so kind and so welcoming. You find out.
Okay, I was scrolling on Xiaohongshu, aka the Rednote, and I came across this post. Basically, the American people are asking Chinese people, can you tell me what's something Western media tell us about China that's totally incorrect in reality? Now, I'm a born and raised Chinese. I moved to the United States 10 years ago. So I have lived in both countries for a fair amount of time. So I know for a fact that which are the lies and which are true. But let me tell you, my jaw was on the floor when I read the comments because they are just beyond imagination. Let me read some for you. This one says, we don't have a credit system to evaluate each other's behavior, which is true because a lot of people are asking me about social credit in China. I was like, what are you talking about? Now, mind you, I still go back to China to visit my family and friends every year. So I'm not out of touch with them. And also, no child labor in China. I got asked about this all the time. There is no child labor in China. Okay, I think the Western media said something about like there are children's sweatshop all over in China. They make like $1 a day. Where did you get that from? Like, what? And also this, 99% Chinese do not eat dogs or cats. Okay, in the past, some regions have that tradition, but it's gradually abandoned, which is true. Those are the regions, like in the past, that we're talking about like decades ago, they have very limited food resources. So they actually farm dogs, just like we farm pigs and cows here, to as food. But now, even for those remote regions, we have plenty of food now. Food is not scarce anymore. So those tradition has been gradually abandoned, and a lot of people in China also been protesting to abandon this tradition. Also, this is so funny. I've never heard of this. Like, is it true 83% of Chinese population work for Shein? And this person answered, nobody knows Shein in China. Which is so true. Like, Shein, there's no Shein in China. And 83% of population, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do you even believe that? Do you actually believe that? And this, I assume that you are all working for $3 a day, like they told us here. And this person answered, which is true, okay? In small city, it's like $5 an hour, yes. And in big city, it's like around 100 a day or more. I know this is not a lot compared to what we have here, but the living cost in China is so much more affordable than us here. And nobody has to work 2 jobs to be able to buy food or groceries. And also for a lot of Chinese company, we're not talking about foreign companies in China, okay, because that's a different landscape. But for most Chinese company, it's a pretty standard practice to provide free lunch to their employees. Some even go further to provide free breakfast and free boarding or transportation. So their working environment is actually much better compared to what we have here in the US. And there are so many more lies that the Western media or government has been perpetuating this whole time. Like, I would love to talk more. But right now, I'm just so happy to see that people from both countries finally start to interact and communicate with each other, have some meaningful conversations. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I think that's something that the US government don't want the American people to find out by banning TikTok. But I bet they do not see this.
So you're telling me 170 million people want to keep something, but 9 US justices say no. So it's 150 million versus 9, and the 9 win. Are you sure this is a free country?
I've decided to stop the video where it should have begun because we can go on and on and on. So there's a lot to uncover about freedom. Is America a free country? And when you speak about freedom, it has to start with you first. Like, how are you willing to even discover things that are happening around you? So the system can look you somewhere. I feel like with the busyness that Americans have to have, or these jobs that they have, they're constantly working to survive, not even to live, not to afford life, to survive. You know, they don't even have time to get to see what is happening the other side of the world. So put it upon yourself to inform yourself, to educate yourself. I saw so many creators speaking of, if you have money, so that's the first thing you should do. You should visit the world, visit countries out there so that you get to understand what are the lived experience for other people. So I am tired of saying that America is awake to the truth, because I kind of feel like, how, like, some of you are even born from technology, like, and all this while I believed that Americans were far ahead. Like, everyone is shocked, like everyone is shocked to this point, like not just Chinese, not just Americans, we are all shocked because all of us fed into that lie of the American dream, like, and everyone want to be like an American, and everyone want to go to America. Now, what can we do here?